Fred Williams Excel Prime using mod. What are we going to do? We're going to sum every n or z columns. Here we have the sum product. We're going to throw in mod there. Why? Because if you look to the left is our z column or n column. That is, we're going to count every column. And here we're going to count every 2 columns, every 3, so on and so forth. Over here is just a simple check. Just manually did it. But here, this is the layout. It's the array. And then we're going to compare that. Once we find the true here, we're going to compare it to B5 to J5. The first row is straightforward. Mod is just going to divide by 1 and everything's going to be true. What we really want to test is everything after 2 and see if we can come up with this thing. Here, all we're doing is we're going to count every other column. We've seen this before with rows, so let's just take a peek and see how we broke this down. Mod is a number and a divisor. So what we're doing is we have to figure out this number. In other words, column. We're going to need to find column. Here, it would be column 3, but relative, it has to be column 2. That's why we look at column B6 to J6 minus column B6. Here we are, we're going to be column B6. That's going to be 2. Then B6 to J6, let's break this down. Here we have column B5. Column B5, 1, 2. What is this? Column B5 is J5. Here's the actual rows. Then what are we going to do is we're going to subtract 1 from the other. What do we have? We have 2 minus 2, but we need a starting point. Plus 1. That's it. I know it looks much more challenging than it really is, but all we're doing is we're creating a relative column. Relative set. Sequential. Then what we're going to do, and this is going to get confusing because I just did a comparison. Here's the actual mod. Here's the mod calculation. Working off of our second row, this is what we see up here. This is where we see mod equals 0. Here, we're going to take B19 minus our divisor, which in this case is going to be 2, times the integer. Then we're going to take, again, this divisor, our number, which is going to be 2, divided by 2. What we're doing is finding this number, and in the end, if we get rid of this, right here, this 0, and it's going to say correct this, we're going to get 1. And then if we copy this over, all right, we're going to see 1, 0. Here we got 2, and 2 divided by 2 is going to be, mod's going to generate a 0. We have 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. If we look at this, because we got rid of that 0, throw that back in here. We throw it into 0, and you can see that it turns into false, true, false, true. Look at mod here. Mod is the exact same thing other than mod. This is what mod does, mod. And then all we're doing is using some product in the output of mod. Here's the full-blown array, F9. What I did is I made changes and I locked the numbers in here. And this is for the previous example. And there's nothing I can do other than get rid of it. So all I did was I captured this information, and I have to actually cut it, paste it back in here. We're in sync. So here, if we look at this array, F9, and you're going to see 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Here we have 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. The number is 301, and it's 301. Doing it manually, and then making it equal 0. We get rid of that 0, and all of a sudden it reverses. Keep in mind how important that 0 is. Here we're looking at just this layout. Over here is the write-up. And this is one you just have to recognize what mod's trying to do. It returns the remainder after dividing. We don't want the remainder. We want actual. So if there is a remainder, that's going to be the false. And you notice 2, this number 2, our divisor is going to be 2. That's going to be true. The divisor into 4, is there going to be a remainder? No. Is there a remainder with 5? 5 divided by 2 will go into 5 twice, and it's going to leave 0.5 as a remainder, and we don't want that. That's going to kick in a false. That's the easiest way for me to try to explain mod. Brad Williams, Excel Prime. Thanks for watching.